And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 8 of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. This is a live edition of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show on a later Friday night than what we usually would do this at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and also recorded on top of that. Now, you may be asking yourselves, why are we doing this live? Well, there's a couple reasons behind this. One, I completely was lazy. I was straight up lazy. I forgot to make a time to record. I did say that we were going to record on like Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday, and then vice versa. But, however, though, I had a lot of stuff come up for me on my neck of the woods that I had to tend to, and I'd a little bit later than what we usually would do this at. And I do realize we are about an hour 45 minutes away from the start of the truck race. So we still have plenty of time to go ahead and talk about what we need to talk about, get our predictions in, and then just be on our merry ways from there. But I do apologize for not getting this show up, especially if it's recorded. I do apologize for not getting this recorded and then put up. Like I said, I was just very busy with a lot of stuff in my personal life, so I just needed to tend to that. But as far as also on the Lost a Friend vlog that I do want to bring up, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support, man. I greatly appreciate it. Just the Russ's passing was just very unexpected. I even didn't know that he passed away right up until they that was just very sad, very unexpected. I mean, one of the senior pastors at my old church said something about an unexpected death. I was like, I wonder who it was. But then once I got a notification saying that it was Russ's funeral, that's when I was kind of like, oh geez, oh no. And then I was also confused as well. I was like, wait, what? Don't tell me this is real. Because like it's one of those feelings where, because like I said, this was just so unexpected. But I do appreciate all your support. I've been doing a lot better now, despite the fact that I'm still trying to process this. This is incredibly hard to really, especially throughout the last couple of days. It's just been very tough. Just trying to get used to the fact that Russ is no longer present physically, but he's around spiritually. He is somewhere better. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna bring in our panelists. Our only two panelists that we've got so far. Joining me is Wyatt Walker and Mr. Zachary Taylor.
Hello.
Also, I hate to burst your bubble, Wyatt, but we're not using our cameras for this week. I'm sorry.
But I like my camera.
I know. I'm sorry. It's just for 1 week. It's just 1 week. You'll be fine. It's okay. It's just one week. Trust me.
Yeah, and I wasn't watching the stream at all.
You weren't, so you didn't hear everything that I was saying.
No, I did not hear you talking about the unexpected passing of your buddy Russ.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but like I said, that was just super unexpected.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. He would have been 50 this year, believe it or not.
Wow.
He would have been, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. But anyways, shifting gears into what we were originally going to discuss for this week's edition of the Pit Stop Show, our live edition, to be quite frank. Let's talk about the Homestead weekend. I honestly, the only race I saw was the Cup race, and I thought to myself, that has to be one of the best races I've ever seen in the weekend. Just mainly because of the fact that we saw some faces that we haven't seen up at the front all that much. I mean, like, that we usually would see, like Chris Buescher, for instance. He did super good in that Cup race. Super good. Right up until the final stage where just something happened and he just completely fell off. But, well, go ahead, Wyatt. Oh,
of the track. Oh,
what's that?
testing, testing.
Test
1, 2, 1.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. Oh, we're having more of those lovely technical difficulties. Wyatt just left the call. I think he's gonna come back here in just a little bit. But Taylor, let's shift over to you. What did you think about this weekend? And which race was your favorite?
Well, I mean,
Discord microphones suck.
Well, that's what Wyatt thought about the weekend in a nutshell. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I just switched to my phone, so.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
But what I was trying to say before was it may have been because of the track temperature.
It probably could have, yeah. Part of it could have been track temperature, and another part of it could have just been pit stops, because Buescher's car probably was just mainly set up for the daytime. But then once track temperatures got cooler, and then the handling of the car shifted, and then he just completely fell off. But that really sucked for Buescher. But for the most part, he did really well. But anyways, let's go back to the question that I was going to ask the both of you. What did you guys think about the weekend? And which race was your favorite?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm trying to. I don't think I watched the whole Xfinity. No, I did watch the whole Xfinity race. That's right. Those races was pretty good. It got a little boring in some of the parts, but I think the Cup race is my favorite because we had some unexpected faces up there running pretty good. Chris Busch is a good example. We had some drivers show up late. William Byron surprised me because he was not a driver I thought would end up winning that race. So, and also you have to give hats off to Mike Snyder. He was a wild card in the Xfinity as well. So, equally as good. But I think the Cup Series won for me. Taylor?
well, I mean, most definitely. Especially with a lot of drivers up there that we really didn't expect to be up there. And I don't think anybody really expected Mike Snyder to win the Xfinity race. Or Chris Buescher to be up there leading laps like he was in the Cup race before he kind of faded a little bit. But, I mean, Homestead was most definitely very they were absolutely getting at it at Homestead. It seemed like all three races were all pretty good.
But we'll count them in spirit. They
right?
raced in spirit. Let's say it like that. but let's talk about the Xfinity race for a second, because quite honestly, who would have thought Myatt Snyder would have won the race? How many people thought that?
Honestly, it's the RCR equipment at Homestead. They've done pretty good the last few times, if I remember that correctly. And don't forget, that number won the championship back in 2019.
Yeah, and that was with Reddick. But I think that's actually I think Myatt, seeing as how he was able to get his first win in Homestead this year, part of it probably was just because they used notes from what?
And to add on, who did Mike Snyder beat?
He beat
Tyler Reddick.
He beat Tyler Reddick, but after Reddick had his
despite the fact that
despite the fact that he had a disqualification. Yeah. But
he did beat Tyler Reddick to that line because he was right there.
Exactly.
So,
and just a little food for thought here. Our Motorsports came into the Xfinity Series. I think I want to say around 2018 or 2019, somewhere around there, maybe the late 2010s, early 2020s. It's really crazy of how they've got two cars now. First of all, the 02 has done super well with Brett Moffitt. Moffitt definitely brought our motorsports to the forefront as far as the smaller teams goes. Reddick was also driving for our motorsports as well. Both of the our motorsports cars would have been inside of the top 10. Officially inside of the top 10. So that would have been and think about that for a second. Sorry to cut you off, Wyatt. This would be huge. This was a huge night for our motorsports because it goes back to what I was saying about both of the cars officially finishing inside of the top 10 if Reddick did not have a disqualification. It shows me that the team is actually doing good. Despite, yes, the equipment is not the best. It's the talent and it's the driver that is behind the wheel that actually makes the car go as fast as you would see it go. You know what I mean?
Yes, and welcome Sean Ard, by the way.
Sean, you're here.
Yeah.
He just snuck in.
Yes.
But what I was trying to say was that now our owner's point, now it's going to be running more.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that. Our motorsports, seeing as how they were able to do good these last couple of weeks, they're definitely going to have themselves a really good year this year. I can definitely feel that. But shifting gears over to the Cup race, going back to what you were saying, Wyatt, about William Byron winning. I at first wasn't expecting it, but then when Fox referred to the fact that Rudy Fugle was William Byron's crew chief, this reminded me of 2016 in the Truck Series. Both of them had probably arguably the most spectacular season that both Byron and Fugle could ever have as a pair. I'm thinking 5 years later, they could repeat that. It's a 50-50 that they could repeat it or not, but either way, I feel like Byron is going to do really good this year with Rudy Fugle atop the pit box because Rudy definitely knows a few things. But Fugle came from the Truck Series, and he went straight to Cup. So it's a new playing field for Rudy Fugle, but I think he'll adjust just fine.
And now after the win with Byron and him, and the third race of the season, I'd say they're already a good pair, and this might be a combination we might see for a long while.
Oh yeah.
I think we'll start seeing that 24 go back to victory lane.
I agree.
More often. Well.
All right, Sean.
Any comments, Sean?
Yeah.
That's a great comment, Sean. Thank you so much.
Well, okay. I haven't been able to hear much about what's going on here, so
all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you, Sean, since you first came in. What did you think about the weekend? And if you had a favorite race, which one is it between Xfinity and Cup?
I thought the weekend was just as normal as we could get there at Homestead. We had really good racing throughout the whole weekend. And the best race I thought we saw was in the Cup Series race. We had really good racing. Just had a lot of had different drivers out front, like Busher, Elliott, Byron. I thought that was just fun to see on Sunday, how that went.
Oh, yeah. I can definitely vouch for that because, honestly, do I like the 510, the 550 package? 510 seems a little bit slow, but everything. I'm not a big fan of it, as probably some of you would already know. But does it produce good racing? Yes, it does. But does it also produce racing at pavement on tracks that have like old pavement like Homestead? No, it's. I mean, I think what we saw in this year's edition of Homestead, racing at Homestead, it was good. It was actually really good, and I enjoyed it pretty well. Especially the restarts. The restarts were pretty wild and crazy too. So let's go ahead and get down to the top 10 for both of the races. So for Xfinity, you had Myatt Snider, who wound up getting his first win of his Xfinity Series career. I think this is before before winning in the Truck Series, which he's never done before. Brandon Jones finishes second. He would have finished third, but because of Reddick's disqualification, Jones gets moved up to second. Then it's Hemrick third, Jeb Burton fourth, Austin Cindric completes the top 5. Then it's Justin Haley sixth, Brett Moffitt seventh, Ryan Sieg eighth, Jeremy Clements ninth, and Josh Berry. I think this one is actually pretty surprising for Junior Motorsports because Josh Berry, you mainly would see him race on the short tracks, but Josh Berry finishes inside of the top 10 for the Xfinity Series. So now, if I can actually get the words out of my mouth, I think I may need to do mouth exercises before I come into the call. But moving on to the Cup Series, the results from the Homestead race, you have William Byron, who ends up getting his second career win, his first at a 1.5 mile track for the Cup Series. Tyler Reddick comes home second, Martin Truex Jr. third, Kyle Larson fourth, Kevin Harvick fifth. Michael McDowell continues his dream season by getting his third straight top 10 of the season by finishing in sixth, Ryan Newman seventh, Kurt Busch eighth, Alex Bowman ninth, and Kyle Busch rounds out the top 10. Let's go into grading the weekend, guys. So, I'm going to start off with Zachary Taylor. If you could give this weekend a grade ranging from A to F, what would it be and why?
Oh, well, I think I'm going to continue my streak of giving it an A because, I mean, the racing was very good. And, I mean, you know, them going 4 and 5 wide at times and nearly wrecking each other a few times. I mean, the racing was very good. So, I mean, and we got to see a surprise winner, especially in Xfinity. So, I'm going to give it an A.
All right. Sean?
It was good. I'm not gonna lie, but it wasn't as a category of just an A. I'm gonna go down just a little bit to an A minus.
Yeah, I mean it's still within the category of A, but you get the picture. Wyatt.
I'll have to agree with both of them because like it had some crazy races and stuff. The restarts were pretty good. The finishes were pretty great. We saw some drivers run up there. But I'm going to back Sean up because sometimes there wasn't a whole lot of action. It was just them riding the high lane good a little bit, making some strategy between lanes. It didn't get to the end. It got good. So I'm backing Sean up this time and I'm going A minus as well.
I'm shocked.
Wow.
I'm shocked that you vouched for Sean.
Yeah, usually it would be the other way around.
Usually you would not vouch for Sean. You would go completely the other way.
But this is the one of the few times I do agree with Sean because I do think this wasn't. It's not a B. It's not a B.
It's definitely not a C.
Yeah,
it's definitely not a C minus either, Sean.
Oh, definitely not. Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay,
definitely. Yeah,
that was my opinion last week. Okay, that was my opinion last week, Elijah.
Well, it may be your opinion, but some people have a right to disagree with it, Sean.
Well, you somehow can't stop Good me about that.
No, I can't actually, but I do. Reserve the right to either disagree or agree with it, or But anyways, I'm gonna. But this is exactly what the Pit Stop Show is about, because you can have differentiating opinions, and you can either choose to agree or disagree with them, and I think that's the beauty of the show. You don't want like everybody on the same page at the exact same time. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I've seen probably one or two shows that would do that, and it's just like, come on, guys, where's the differentiating opinions? Like, it's completely abnormal to see people on the exact same page,
Well, speaking of different opinions, we still have to hear your grade for this week.
So, honestly, I thought the racing, as far as I'm completely going by the Cup Series, because the Xfinity race, from what I've seen from highlights, was actually pretty good. It was action packed, especially the heartbreaking moment with Noah Gragson. Because I feel like he could have won the race, but what happened to him, especially what was it, coming to the white flag or 2 to go, whatever, it would have been okay. But again, that was completely out of his hands. That was also out of David Starr's hands. Regardless of what happened, I kind of feel like that I don't know, especially the post-race comments that Noah Gragson made about MBM Motorsports, and especially for Carl Long, and I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it, but at the same time, I do feel like Gragson should have won, but for what he said, it wasn't okay. So but either way, going back to the racing aspect, I thought it was really good, actually, especially with the Cup race, because to Wyatt's point, we saw some faces that we rarely see up at the front. Take Chris Buescher, for instance. He ended up winning stage 1, which is surprising, actually. So with that, with all that we saw, I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to vouch for Taylor and give this an A.
Ooh. Oh.
All
right. So now that we've gotten the Homestead weekend out of the way, let's get into some of these topics that I have set up. Are any of you familiar with the name Bill Lester?
The name,
I think so.
I think I've heard it before. I've never really heard of him all that much, but the name did ring a bell a couple times.
Well, I do know through actually NR 2003 that Bill Lester used to race in the Truck Series. Way back when. I think it was the very early. Alexander Lester III, or just for short, Bill Lester, is an American semi-retired professional racing driver. He competes part-time in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series for a yet-to-be-announced team. Lester previously competed full-time in trucks from 2002 to midway through 2007. He was also one of few African-American drivers to race in the Cup Series. He raced for Bill Davis in 2007, I believe. So, but this year, Bill Lester is returning. We have yet to figure out what team he's actually going to be driving for. I highly doubt it's going to be for a really good team. He might drive for a semi-good team, but I'm happy to see that some veterans are coming back to the sport, like Bill Lester, for instance, because this is actually going to be the first time that I will actually watch him, see him race. So, I think this actually is pretty cool to see. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Oh yeah, definitely. See, having a retired driver come back is always great to see, especially for the trucks. Some great examples of that Greg Biffle. Greg Biffle is the main example, I would say on that. But oh, oh no, I feel like this would be great to see an old veteran come back. Sean?
Yeah, I have to agree with that. It's gonna be really cool to see how Bill Lester does when he drives at Atlanta. But it might. It's gonna be a little weird how he might do, but it's we're gonna have to wait and see on when he is on the track finally. Taylor?
Yeah, well, it is going to be interesting to see him come back for sure and see where he does wind up with. I personally have never seen him race that I'm aware of, unless it was from an old race I was watching. But so I'm not really too familiar with him, but I do know his name a little bit. So, but it will be interesting to see him come back for sure.
And to add on to is the projected date on when he'll come back. So, let's talk about another topic that I think is actually going to definitely get you guys pretty hyped up here. But for those of you who may not have heard, there was a contract that was signed. Governor of Tennessee, I believe. He signed a contract that will allow Bristol Motor Speedway to renovate the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So, there is a chance we could see this racetrack come back to the schedule maybe as early as either 2022, which is next year, or 2023. So, I want to turn to you guys and ask, what do you think about a piece of history coming back on?
It depends on what you describe a piece of history, because I Speedway back, and that was, if you want to call it, that was kind of history. There hasn't been racing for a good little bit, and now it's back.
It's, well, to be specific, Nashville Super Speedway is more of like modernistic like history.
Yeah.
Nashville Fairgrounds dates all the way back to around the late 40s, early 50s. Somewhere around as late as the 70s as well.
But the point I'm making is, like, it's always good to see some tracks that we haven't raced at for a long time come back. We're still talking about bringing Brooksboro.
Yeah.
I think that's the track that's still an idea of Junior trying to get back in the schedule, which would be awesome.
That would be great.
That would, yeah, I think it's good. Can't wait to see how that goes. I don't think any of the Cup drivers have ever ran this track, so after winning pops up, this is going to be a new track for everyone.
It will be.
So this will be really interesting.
The Nashville Fairgrounds.
Sean?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
That's really cool that they want to bring back tracks like Nashville Super Speedway and Nashville Fairgrounds. Like, those are two parts of NASCAR history that maybe not everyone has remembered about. Like the drivers back then, I believe, used to love racing on that track. And with Bristol, Tennessee, and the state of Tennessee, and probably NASCAR are all trying to figure out how they want to bring that track back to like its glory days, like what they're doing. Like they want to try to do the same thing with Rockingham or North Wilkesboro. A lot of people want to try to bring those tracks back to their glory days.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be really interesting to see how this might work.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor?
Oh, well, I mean, it would be cool to see them race there again for sure. Most definitely. I mean, it's been a long time since they've raced there. and everything. So, I mean, it would be very interesting to see them get the race there again. And, a lot of drivers have never been there, so that would really make things interesting with a lot of inexperienced drivers out there on the track for Nashville.
So I just figured something out, actually. I'm looking on the Wikipedia page, which I know is not very liable, but the track actually first featured horseless carriages and motorcycles back in 1904. Yeah, you heard that. Horseless carriages and motorcycles back in June 11th of 1904. This racetrack, I think this racetrack was around, because from what I'm looking at, according to Wikipedia, this racetrack was opened back in 1904. It broke ground in 1958, because that's when NASCAR first, in the Cup Series wise, that's when they first started racing there. And the last year that they ended up racing at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway was 1984. And they haven't been back since. So if Nashville were to come back on the schedule as early as next year, maybe as late as 2024, it would be within 40 years since they have raced there. And part of me, and obviously what they're going to have to do is, what Bristol's going to have to do as far as renovating is concerned, they probably, if the pavement is good, they might not repave it. I doubt that they will. They will have to put in safer barriers, obviously. They might put in more grandstands. They might upgrade the pit lane area, put more garages in the infield. I think that's what they're gonna do. As far as renovating Nashville Fairgrounds is concerned, that's what I'm believing. That's what I'm leaning more towards. But as far as getting the track back into its glory days, I think it might be there because of the late models actually racing there, because the late model series still races there with what is it now, the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts series or whatever. But it will be at its glory days. I think it's gonna have to go back to the package that the Gen 7 is probably gonna run at the short tracks, unless if the package is gonna be the same across all the racetracks, which I am hoping, and with 750 horsepower. That's just a hope. I don't want to get my hopes too high, because a lot of NASCAR fans, and this is no offense, would get their hopes really high for something, but then just once NASCAR unveils exactly what it is that they've done, whatever it may be, regarding packages or tires or whatever, the fans' expectations would just be completely blown away in a negative way. So that's why I don't want to get my hopes too high. But no, I mean, this actually is going to be very cool, going through with putting it back on the schedule, and should be great. Just like everything's great. Okay, so one last topic I wanted to talk about, and this is actually something Sean is already aware, that Texas has opened their state 100%. So stores, stadiums, including racetracks, everything is open at 100%. The mask mandate is gone in Texas, even though 16 other states probably have done the exact same thing, but everybody's going crazy about Texas. No offense, Sean.
Yeah.
But this also means that Texas and COTA, Texas Motor Speedway that is, and COTA are going to be allowing fans back to the track at 100% capacity. Although, here's my 2 cents on this. Although this sounds great. That's the key word. This sounds great that Texas has opened their states 100%. No more mask mandates. Everything is going to go back to normal in Texas. That, to me, when you really think about it, and why? Because COVID. I mean, once people started dipping their toes back into the pool, slowly but surely, there was a spike. There's a spike because everybody, instead of dipping their toes back into normal life, everybody just dove right back in, and it just got out of hand. And everybody just like, oh, well, we got to start over. We gotta go back to what it was, the phase 1 or whatever. So that's my concern for Texas. I'm afraid that there might be a spike in cases, but who knows what could happen. So I will ask you guys this. With Texas and COTA allowing fans back at the track at 100% capacity, no restrictions, no masks, no social distancing, whatever, do you guys think this is a good thing? Do you think it's a concern? Or are you just kind of 50-50 and not sure?
About damn time. I'm tired of this whole thing. Oklahoma is going to be next. I already know this. The us people in the South are getting real tired of this. I heard that Louisiana and Mississippi are probably doing the same thing as well. So I think this is I get your concern, but this is a good thing. This whole worry about the whole thing up, I feel like this is a really I like that we're finally getting the tracks at 100% like they should be. Seeing the stands not full of people, that's not a sight I don't like to see. I like to be full up with people.
So
people there.
you're basically saying that it's not normal.
It's not normal to see that.
Yeah.
But just like it'll be normal to see everyone there 100%, especially at COTA, a new track. Why wouldn't you see a lot of fans there?
Yeah.
But it's about damn time that at least a state starts taking off the whole mask mandate. That's something I've been waiting for a while. So to me, this is a good thing. Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Pennsylvania are next, 100%. Maybe during the summer or something, but I'm really excited for all this. And like I said, it's about damn time. Sean, the Texas man.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to be going on with it, but okay, so everything about the whole 100% thing, it will be good on Wednesday because that's when the mask mandate ends. But the whole 100% thing, that's determining on what the tracks do. Because I don't believe that we're going to get like sell out crowds. So it might be a little concerning on if we can have everybody come back. We might just get a limited amount, like maybe a good 50 to 75% capacity at the minimum. But I would still say maybe in the later months of this year, when we get to those later races, that's probably going to be the time where we're going to see 100% fans. So for Texas, maybe when we come back for the fall race.
Okay.
That's probably when we'll see sold out crowds.
Yeah.
Taylor?
Well, most definitely. It's going to be awesome to see a lot of fans back in the stands, hopefully, when we get to Texas the first time. And we want to see a bunch of cardboard cutouts and everything else. But
cardboard sold out, guys. Or sell out. Sorry, not sold out. Anyways, continue on. Sorry.
But anyways, yeah, it's going to be great to have fans back, and I mean, it's going to be awesome to see that, and who knows? Maybe they'll even let some fans out in the garage area again. I mean, that's going to be something to watch too. I mean, hopefully some fans can get down the garage area again and everything. So, I mean, it's going to be great to have more fans in the stands this time, hopefully, when we get to Texas.
Yeah. And I'm thinking that it is going to be great to see like more fans in the stands, you know, for Texas and Coda. But to Sean's point, it's not going to be like a 100% sold out kind of deal. You might see like 50 to 75% capacity in the stands. Maybe the same thing for infield, because I know Daytona kind of did the same thing with the infield kind of deal, with people in there as well. But but like talking about like as far as seeing fans back in the stands, like more than what we normally would see, whether it be a 10% capacity or 25% capacity, whatever it may be, it's a great thing. I mean, it might look great, it might sound great. I just, my only concern is what the outcome might be. Because remember, this is around the time where like COVID started really ramping. It started really taking over, and that's where everybody just kind of like, basically where the whole world just shut down. And NASCAR was one of those that led to like a 71-day hiatus until they returned on May 17th of last year. Wow, I know a lot of stuff. Damn. But I think that with what's happening, everybody knows more about the virus. Everybody knows a lot more about it than what we did last year when we knew little to nothing about it. I'm thinking that since everybody is starting to slowly dip their toes back, did we actually do the right thing? You know, I think this is just going to be a test of, did we actually do the right thing? How are we going to handle this in the future? What's the right way to handle something like this in the future? You know, it's a matter of what will happen. What's the outcome going to look like? Because like I said, allowing fans back at the track at 100% capacity, I mean, that sounds great, but you know, it's just a concern that I have. But to see more fans back in this, to the fact that we're going to see more fans in the stands than we have in previous races, I think it's going to be great. But that's going to be my main concern, is what the outcome is going to look like. So, I mean, I don't know yet. None of us really know yet. Once we get to that point, whether we go to Texas or Coda, we're just going to have to wait and see. That's all I'm going to have to say right there. So, see, everybody, we all had at least maybe somewhat of a similar, some of us had somewhat of a similar opinion, but there were some differences. You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
Yeah, we know. It was one.
Oh, mid sentence just gets muted. What was that, Taylor?
The cowboy lost his mic for a second.
He lost his mic for a second. But no, like I'm trying to allude to I've like I said, I went back and I have watched other shows, or at least one in particular. It bugs me, and would vouch for each other. You get what I'm saying? There's no differentiating opinion. There's no debating. There's no like disagreement on some opinions. You get what show goes. I kind of wish that a lot of other shows would have more of that, where an individual fan would have their own opinion. They would state it, and then another fan would chime in with like say, oh, I agree with you, but here's my opinion. You get what I'm saying? And then they can go back and forth without it trying to without it getting out of hand. So like, you know, but what I ask out of everybody is that they respect the opinion in the best way that they can, regardless if you agree with it or not. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes. It's just like Wyatt said. Like, he understood that I was concerned about like COVID cases spiking, but he was, as he said, it's about damn time.
We all just want this to end. We can all agree.
We all can agree that we
Yeah,
all want this to end.
But we all think we should. Everyone can agree or disagree that there needs to be some sort of way or action that figure out this sort of stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, everybody has their own opinion. No one's opinion is ever going to be the exact same. There's always going to be one difference, whether it be big or small, obvious or not. And, you know, we should all just respect each other's opinions. That's all I have to say. I just don't want to be one of those shows where just like everyone's opinion is the exact same 100% of the time, because where's the debate? Where's the differentiating opinion? Where's the hold on, I disagree, here's what I think, and then talk it out from there? You need that. You need more of that in other NASCAR related podcasts or shows or whatever. I think that's what we need. We need more of those people that are willing to give their opinion, have no regrets, and then have another person chime in and just say their opinion. It could be entirely different. I mean that's what I think. That's what I think we could vouch for, because we need more of those types of people and more of those types of podcasts and shows that do that kind of stuff. It's kind of boring if everybody agrees on the same thing all the time. You get it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've already said my piece on something that was completely unrelated to racing. But let's go ahead and preview Las Vegas. The truck race is just about an hour away from now. It'll take place at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We're at our second 1.5-mile track of the year, but it's not the same configuration as Homestead is. It's the D-shape. It's like a triangular or D-shaped oval racetrack. So coming into Las Vegas, what do you guys think we're going to see? What do you guys think we're going to expect? Lay it down. What do you guys think?
Well, it's hard to figure out because Vegas, we never know. The action usually comes around the end, maybe the beginning, but Vegas in general is just a fun track to watch. It's definitely a gambling game, a gambling race. To get to my pun there.
Yeah.
I think one of the main things I was surprised I found out this year is that, well, not this year, I found out recently is because Kevin Harvick did not pick the first stall. He picked a whole different stall. So that's gonna be interesting to see. A lot of gambling. Sean?
Yeah, Las Vegas. It's how you want to choose your bet. Do you want to do the small one, or you want to go all in? This is how everyone's going to be like this weekend, especially tonight. But how everyone's going to be like is uncertain because, yes, this is going from a different track from Homestead, but it's more of that traditional 1.5 mile track.
Yeah.
Where it's usually everyone's driving normally like clean, but it's always interesting how the racing might be.
Mm-hmm.
It might be good. It might be really good at the end. It might be good at the beginning.
Well, I mean, even though Homestead and Vegas are configured a little different, I mean, if they try going 5 wide through the first 2 stages like they did back at Homestead, down the backstretch and everything else, I think we'll be in for a pretty good race. Even though they did get strung out a few times at Homestead, I mean, if they race hard and aggressive like they did at Homestead, I think we're going to be in for another good race at Vegas. And who knows what we're going to see, but it will be interesting to see what happens. And I think we'll be in for some good racing.
All right. I would definitely agree with that for sure, because Vegas is definitely one of those places where you will have to gamble. Hang on, I'm trying to find the actual the soundtrack that I would use for the predictions. I can't find it. Where?
Oh no!
Where is it?
Uh-oh.
Where's it at?
Dun, dun, dun.
It's not that.
That's not
Did you?
That's not it.
That's not good.
Where's it at? Where is it at? No, that's the intro, the music for the pit stop show. No, that's not what I want. Where is it? Oh my gosh, where is it? That's not
This
it.
is great.
Where is it? That's not it.
This is great.
Excuse us, people. We're having technical difficulties.
This ain't technical difficulties. This is where the heck is the song difficulties? What even is the name of the soundtrack anyway?
Yeah, it's where the hell? Where the hell?
How do you not know the name of the soundtrack?
I feel I downloaded it from YouTube. I should have put it in a separate folder so that way I know exactly what it is. Label it prediction. Oh, here we go. I found it. Okay. Finally found it after about 5 minutes. What it felt like. Okay. So Nathan Stapleton, another one of our panelists, ended up starting up a live stream. So best of luck to him in his Heat 5 race. But that's not exactly what we're going to be talking about. We're not going to be talking about Nathan Stapleton and his Heat 5 stuff. No offense, Nathan. But let's go ahead and take a look at the points before we get on down to our predictions. We've got Wyatt Walker, who holds on to the points lead with 21 points. Yours truly is in second, just 4 points behind. Sean R., Zachary Taylor, you guys are still tied. You both
Taylor, go.
You both have 7
Oh.
points. Everybody else, Nathan Stapleton, Travis Crampton, Quentin Moore, Allison Rain, and Ryan Kendall, all those other people have 0 points. They have yet to put in predictions. So while I am pinging the rest of the group predictions, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know about the rules for our predictions. So we pick a driver who we think is going to win. That is self-explanatory. A driver that we choose to stay away from is a driver that hasn't really been doing well the last couple of weeks, or we're just coming up to a track where they just won't do well at. And we also pick a dark horse, a guy who's been on fire throughout the last couple of races, and or just coming up to a racetrack that they're really good at. 1 point per category, and the maximum points that you can get out of this is 9 points because of the 3 series that are at Las Vegas tonight. We have Trucks, Xfinity, and the Cup Series. Here we go. I have officially put in the ping. So we're going to start off with Mr. Zachary Taylor. You are up first.
Alrighty. Well, I already got my predictions wrote down, so
Bold.
okay. However, I think next week I may have an even more creative idea for the predictions, but that's for next week. Okay, getting on this week. So for our truck race tonight, I think for the driver to stay away from
That's interesting.
And and for my dark horse, I think I'm gonna pick Johnny Sauter as my dark horse. And my winner, I think I'm gonna go with Ben Rhodes, who has been absolutely on fire this season.
I think he'll go bro.
Hey, he's winning 3 in a row. Okay.
That is a possibility.
So
I
hate to be the spoiler to your party, but Kyle Busch is in the truck race tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's my bold pick for the truck race.
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody.
All right.
Kyle Busch.
Damn.
Yeah, probably, but all right. All right. So for my Xfinity predictions, I think for my driver to stay away from, I think I'm going to select Justin Allgaier as my driver to stay away from.
Oh,
Ouch.
wow.
That's not bad.
All right. Dark Horse actually had a really good run at Homestead. So this is going to be a little bit of a risk, but I'm going to take it again. I'm going to say J.J. Yaley is my dark horse for the Xfinity race.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, my
you
phone
heard
just
that
closed
correct.
up off.
J.J. Yaley
J.J.
is my dark
Yaley?
horse. Yeah.
What? Hang on. Wait, what team is he driving for?
That I am unsure.
SS Greenlight Racing.
Are you...
Wait, what did I miss? My phone acted up on me.
Zachary Taylor
What did he pick?
Taylor chose J.J. Yaley as the driver to win. Is that what I'm understanding?
No. That's my dark horse.
Oh,
Oh,
Not my driver.
I was
to win.
about to say. Wait, who's your driver to win?
Taylor.
Okay. Now for my driver to win. My driver to win also had a really good run at Homestead, but he's going to have a better chance of winning than J.J. Yaley. All right. My driver to win.
Jeez. Wow.
I am going to say Brandon Jones will be my driver to win.
Bro.
That
I like that one.
is
I like that one.
super possible. I like that.
Yeah.
Also, no offense, JJ Yaley, if you watch this.
Oh. Anyways.
My name's
All
Devin.
right. So for my
name's Devin.
predictions. So for the driver to stay away from, I think I'm going to go with Eric Almirola as my driver to stay away from.
Oh,
I was thinking about that one.
Ouch.
Dark horse wise, I.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
That's fair. Fair.
Okay.
All right. Now for my winner. Now, what I'm about to say is probably going to shock the living daylights out of you.
Well,
You're gonna pick Joey Gase as the driver to win.
We'll say,
Okay,
I'll say this
I-
before you say it. I'll say this before you say it. We've
Alright.
had 3 surprise winners the last 3 weeks for the Cup season. I think whichever one you say might surprise us, but won't at the same time.
All right. So, I am going to say for my winner, Chris Buescher is my driver to win Vegas.
That's
Whoa.
actually pretty
I
bold.
don't know.
That's bold.
That's way
Bold.
bold.
That's.
I mean, but then again, like I
Just
mentioned,
get the
like I mentioned before, we've had Michael McDowell win the 500, Bell win the road course, and then we got William Byron just won Miami. 3 surprise winners.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
So
We could get a 4th. But alrighty, Mr. Sean Ard, you are up next.
Okay, let me get over to the entry list. Okay, let's start off with the chart series. Normal format here. Start off with the driver to win. I'm gonna say that I did not have any plans. I'm not like everybody else who ran down who you're choosing, so I gotta think. I'm gonna choose Johnny Sauter for my driver to win.
Okay.
Yeah. My driver to stay away from, I'm going to choose Zane Smith.
okay.
And my dark horse, Tyler Ankrum.
Okay. I like that dark horse. That's a good one.
Okay. Hey Taylor, I'm going to use your format for Xfinity, okay?
Oh. All right, we're gonna meet the
Good old parking lot once again.
Oh, gotta love the parking lot, man.
Hey Taylor, I'm going to join you in that parking lot.
Hey, my driver to stay away from in Xfinity, I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna choose Riley Hurts.
Oh. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can believe that.
Riley
Wait, what
Hurts.
I missed?
Riley Hurts is not good at Vegas. Even though he's with a good team at Sir House Racing, I just don't see him doing that well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
My dark horse, I'm going to give it to Austin Cindric.
Okay.
Okay.
And the driver who I might think would win, I'm going to give it to Noah Gragson.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
He could probably get some redemption.
might
I like that.
He might give redemption this weekend. We're going to see what happens. Okay, now Wyatt, I'm taking your...
I already got the calculator ready, Wyatt.
Oh my god.
I already got something else ready for that, so.
God, geez. Easily enough, this is one of the guys that have done really well on this track. I'm going to give it to Brad Keselowski.
195.
Right, Keselowski. Yeah, that was.
My driver to stay away from is not someone who is really well with this sort of track. I'm going to give it... I'm going to give it to Kyle Busch.
213.
Really?
And I'm going to explain myself on Kyle Busch here. Even though this is his own track, he has not done so well racing on it. So that's why I chose.
Despite him having a win here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most of the times he's just not that well. I think he would win. I'm giving it to Joey Logano.
235. 235.
Logano.
Oh, Wyatt is pissed. Wyatt is not happy.
What did I do?
Wyatt is not a happy camper.
Look, God, that trash.
According,
Logano,
don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Logano,
don't get me wrong. Logano has actually done really well at Vegas. I mean, let's.
Yeah,
that's one of his good tracks. So
family
that's
to say
why I
we
chose
have.
All right.
him.
But Mr. Wyatt Walker, you may have your predictions written down, but you're up next.
Yeah, I will go ahead and say mine, even though like you said, I already did have them written down because I wasn't sure if we were doing them or not. It was just for safety, but I feel like mine are good and I have good reasons by them. My dark horse, he has been on fire, leading laps, doing good at every single track so far we've been to in both Daytona races. Dark horse, Raphael Lassard.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
He has
That's a-
been
that's a
on
good
the
one.
ball lately. My drivers stay away. I hate myself for doing this, but I have reasons why. She has been good in the beginning, but the end, it has not gone her way. The last two. I have to give it to my girl Haley Deegan. I hate myself for saying it, but
And your reasoning is not that good at the end of the races, and I would agree with you on that.
yeah. But my driver to win, though, he is making his 100th truck start, and he has won here twice, I think. I think he won here twice. Austin Hill.
That's good. I like that.
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
Austin Hill, he's pretty good at this track. He's really good. Austin Hill, I think he might get it. My Xfinity picks. Sean Arden and I are on the same wavelength, but it's switched. My dark horse is actually Noah Gregson.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
So I think Sean's stuff is self-explanatory why I picked Noah Gregson, but my driver to stay away, and I'm hoping this pick don't get me down to a half, half.
No,
half
it
point
won't.
on this.
It won't.
My driver to stay away. Few starts he had. It's not been the best. I mean, Daytona, he wrecked himself. And Miami, he was not really a factor. I don't have confidence in Ty Dillon. I don't have confidence in Ty Dillon. He's my stay away. But Austin Cindric, your dark horse, is my winner.
Yeah.
Cindric is doing really well right now. I think he'll do good. I think he'll get a second win. Now for my Cup Series. This one, I feel like I'm really proud of. My dark horse, he has not done good so far. But if you look at the last two of the Vegas races, I believe he got top 3 in both of them. Matt Benedetto. My boy Matty D. He's pretty good at the end of those Vegas races, and I believe he ran up there a couple times. So, Matt Benedetto, he is my dark horse. My driver to stay away from, Bubba Wallace.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
He has not. Yeah, I have not seen much good come out. I've seen more better come out of Track House than I've seen out of 2311. That's saying something. So, this race. But my driver to win, as much as we've seen the crazy winners and stuff, we're going back to the regular winners. Martrex Jr. He is one of the best. I think Martrex Jr. will be back of winning those mile and a half, and it'll come from Las Vegas.
Okay. All right. It has come down to yours truly. And I'm going to go
To the
ahead. What?
To the grandpa.
Yes, to the grandfather. The grandfather. Yeah, this is your grandfather here. This is your grandfather. All right.
Grandpa, can I beat up Dawn?
Nah, you gotta treat your siblings with respect. I know that's what you don't want to do.
No.
I know that's what you don't want to do, but you gotta do it anyway, okay? If you don't, I'm gonna whip your keister.
Okay. Let's go on the fight.
Jeez. Anyways,
No,
I'm gonna start off here with the driver to win, and I honestly, even though most likely 99.9% is gonna be Kyle Busch, there's like really low chance that he could lose the race because, you know, KBM equipment whenever Kyle Busch steps into it is absolutely extreme. Aside from Kyle Busch winning, I'm just gonna go ahead and choose, as far as my driver to win is concerned, I think the dream season is gonna continue. Ben Rhodes is gonna be my driver to win. He'll go 3 in a row. My driver.
You're agreeing with Taylor.
I think he's gonna do it because he's out of all the Thor Sport Racing drivers so far this year, he has been the very best one. It is gosh darn obvious. Like, he's won the last 2 races. I think he'll actually wait. No, wait. No, yeah. He did go. He did. They didn't race Homestead, so yeah, he did win back to back. It took me a little bit to realize that, but no. I do think Ben Rhodes will go. Will do a triple and go 3 in a row. My driver to stay away from, on the other hand, I hate myself. I hate to do this, but Hailie Deegan's my driver. Wyatt alluded to. You go back to the last 2 races in the truck series so far. Her the positions she ended up finishing in, the season opener on the Daytona Oval, she finished 24th. On the road course, she ended up finishing 28th. A lap down, I do believe. Yeah, a lap down. But remember, she may be doing good at the beginning, but near the end, she might struggle a little bit and not do the best because of something else that could happen to her, whether it be mechanically or an incident on track. This is very early in the season, and Hailie is still learning, so I wouldn't be surprised if these runs that she's been getting, or like the results that she's been getting, that unfortunately have not been backing up her good runs. I wouldn't be surprised to see those kinds of finishes like that we've seen at Daytona. I'm hoping this happens, but for right now, I'm just not sure what to think about Hailie Deegan right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's a really, really good driver, one of the best female drivers I've ever seen so far. Right now it's kind of just up in the air, seeing as how the last 2 races have just not played to her favor. And so for this week, Hailie Deegan is my driver to stay away from. My dark horse, on the other hand, I'm torn right now, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say, for my dark horse, none of you guys picked him, if I actually do think. Sheldon Creed is going to be my dark horse. I don't know if you guys picked him, but for anything.
Nobody.
But Creed is
Nobody did.
Creed is going to be my dark horse. For the Xfinity Series, which, as I said, is supposed to be 9 p.m. Eastern, so we've got a half hour from now. But one more thing I just wanted to point out about the truck series. Have you seen the number of Camping World paint schemes? There's so many.
Yep.
There's 10 of them.
God.
There's 10. Okay. It's one if there's 10 of them out there. 10.
This wouldn't be the first time that we've seen something like that.
Oh my gosh, that would just be, that's gonna be. You won't be seeing double, triple, quadruple, whatever. No, you'll be seeing tens. That's what you'll be seeing.
That's right. Well, don't forget the fact that we got Enfinger in the race in the number 9 car, and he'll have that sponsor.
Oh yeah, that is true.
But
Yeah, none of us really picked Enfinger. That's surprising.
Yeah, we'll see how CR7 Motorsports does tonight with Enfinger. I think that since Enfinger's behind the wheel, they'll do good tonight. I think, but shifting gears over to the Xfinity Series, even though we're not shifting gears and we're not on a road course, even though we'll be shifting gears on a restart. Anyways, my driver to win. I think I'm gonna have to agree with Wyatt here. Simply put, Austin Cindric at the top of the list as my driver to win. Mile and a half tracks have just been so good for him. You go back to last year, Kentucky, when they were racing in Kentucky, he swept the weekend. Completely, 100% swept that weekend. And that... I don't know what else you could say. Like, really, I don't know what else you can say about it. But just... Yeah, mile and a half tracks that will get it done. He'll keep his dream season going. My driver to stay away from, on the other hand, I think I'm going to have to say, as far as my driver to stay away from is concerned, I'm just going to have to vouch here and say that Riley Herbst is going to be my driver to stay away from, because you go back to the last Daytona races, he didn't do all that well. I think he ended up finishing on an oval, and then also got taken out at the end of stage 1 for the road course race. Actually, wait. But on the flip side, last week he did end up finishing 11th, which is not terrible. That's his only good finish that we've seen out of him this year. But do I think that 11th place finish is going to correspond to what will happen tomorrow for him? No. I really don't think that's going to happen. So, Riley Herbst is going to be my driver to stay away from. There's two drivers, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and say that for my dark horse. Oh, this is so tough. Screw it. I'm gonna say Noah Gregson's my dark horse, and here's why. You're gonna walk away with the win, but unfortunately, something that just wasn't. That just was out of his control had straight up happened to him and just knocked him out of the race. And I still feel like he should have won, but that's not going against Myatt Snider winning. I think Myatt winning last week was a great thing for him. That really was a big booster to his career. But as far as Gregson goes, he should have been the one winning because he dominated the race and was going to walk away with the win. So I think this week we could see redemption out of Noah Gregson. So now,
who was your other driver?
Brandon Jones was my other one.
But I'm going to give this driver a shout out. None of us talked about him. But what about Josh Berry?
Oh yeah, Josh Berry.
I didn't really have him up on my mind because that was his first race this season, right?
No,
this season.
Well, this year, I think he raced at the road course. No, that was Miguel Paludo. I think he also raced. I think he raced the season opener. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he raced Daytona.
Yeah, so he's doing pretty good right now. I just want to give that shout out to him because we didn't mention him at all, and he's a good one.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, like he's done good so far. I mean, like, cause like it goes back to what I was saying. We mainly see Josh Berry racing the Xfinity Series on the short tracks, but now that we're seeing more of Josh Berry, he could do very well. He could continue to do well as what he's been doing so far. But let's shift gears back over to the Cup race. My driver to win. Ooh, okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I'm gonna upset it. I'm gonna upset somebody in here. 3 in a row. Joey Logano, my driver to win.
God damn it.
I am also gonna say, as I said, he went back to back in 2019 and last year, but Las Vegas has just been a really good track for Logano. I mean, especially before he won Vegas, he's done really well. So I'm saying that Logano is going to be my driver to win. He'll go 3 in a row. My driver to stay away from, on the other hand, I will have to agree with Wyatt on this one. Bubba Wallace is my driver to stay away from, because you go back to the last 3 races so far. Daytona 500, he did super good. That was arguably 2311's best race of the season so far. Up until the last lap, he gets caught up in the last lap crash that ultimately led to Michael McDowell winning. But Bubba Wallace ended up finishing 17th. At the Daytona road course, Bubba ended up finishing 26th. And then last week at Homestead, he finished 22nd. So far, other than the Daytona 500 for Bubba Wallace, this has not been a good showing for 2311, the finishes from Trackhouse. And compare that to 2311. Despite the Trackhouse getting taken out early in the Daytona 500, he's 6th at Daytona at the Oval. But when you go to the road course, Suarez and Trackhouse ended up finishing 16th, and then Homestead last week they finished 15th. So Trackhouse has done. Okay, so actually, listen to this. Somebody said that Trackhouse was just going to be one of those teams that everybody would just hype up, but then eventually would just fade into the background. Well, other than the Daytona 500, which unfortunately we haven't been able to see much of Trackhouse at Daytona on the Oval, as far as the Oval is concerned. But they've done really well throughout the last 2 races. 16th on the road course, 15th at Homestead. They could keep the trend going. Which, speaking of, actually, I'm going to go to my dark horse. It's not going to be Trackhouse, by the way. I haven't fully 100% am set on them being a dark horse yet. But I'm going to go ahead and say that my dark horse, this is a shocking one to me, but I'm going to say that it is Chris Buescher. Buescher's going to be my dark horse for this one, because this stems back from last Sunday's performance that he had at Homestead. He won the first stage. He was up there contending throughout most of the race, right up until the final stage when the sun started going down and the track temps started cooling down too. I feel like that Buescher should have had a really good finish to back up his performance. He finished 19th, which is not terrible, but I feel like it should have been better. But regardless of the fact, Buescher, I feel like he's going to be a really good dark horse.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys.
Good pick.
So, we are just 15 minutes away from the weekend officially beginning with the Truck Series. Any final thoughts before we go ahead and sign off?
Nope.
All right. Good thoughts, Wyatt? Good thoughts?
All I'm gonna say is I can't wait to see how Vegas will go. A lot of good things about what will happen when we recap about this next week.
Okay. Yes. Taylor, what you got, man?
All right. My final thoughts is going to be this. Let's go gambling, roll some dice, and let's go racing.
Good thoughts. Good thoughts.
Okay.
So with that, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring this live edition of the NASCAR. Next week, we will go back to pre-recording these shows and having them drop on Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm just really hoping that I can actually pick right back up at it next week, maybe as early as Monday or Tuesday. And hopefully I'll have some tricks up my sleeve. So be sure to stick around and watch next week's edition of the Pit Stop Show to see what those tricks potentially might be. /video. Go ahead, give it a like. If you have not considered subscribing yet, I recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. 11 o'clock will be tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so just a little bit of a time change and also a date change as well. Some of you guys may be expecting Cards Against Humanity to be tomorrow night at 10. That is not the case at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so hopefully you guys can make it out to that and watch the stream, or to some of our participants like Zachary Taylor and Wyatt Walker. Hopefully you guys can make it out to participate as well. But anyways, thank you guys a lot for watching, and on behalf of Zachary Taylor, Sean Ard, and Wyatt Walker, I'm Elijah Leonard signing out, and we'll see you guys on the very next weekend. Or video, really.
Yeah.
Peace.
Hurry, good sons. It's starting to meet the parking lot.
And that's how the